Hello my loves, what is up? What's going on? And welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the September 2023 month ahead prediction. So if you want to know what the month of September has in store for you, you came to the right place. If you are new to these videos, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown about how they work. So I have 4 different groups in front of me. We have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then once you're done choosing your pile, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box that you can skip right ahead to your personal prediction all about the month of September and what you can expect through that month. If you like to choose with crystals on the cards, and if you find that that helps your intuition, let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. So over on group number 1, we have some malachite. Group number 2, we have some sunset aura quartz. Group number 3, we have some tiger's eye. And then group number 4, we have some copper. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box that you can skip right ahead to your personal prediction. I also want to say, if you have a hard time tapping into your intuition, a couple little other ways of choosing your pile is to close your eyes and then the first number between 1 and 4 to pop into your head. That is your intuition speaking to you, and that would be the pile that you go with. Another little trick that you can do is to wait for a color to pop into your head. So of course the colors that are associated with this are green, yellow, some type of like iridescent-y sort of, we'll say black or brown for that one, I guess. And then over here for copper, that would be some sort of like rose gold, maybe like a pink kind of color. So that is what we have. That is the color options for today's video. That is the crystals. That is how to tap into your intuition, all the little different tricks. Then if you are ready to dive into your reading, again, there's timestamps linked down below. Grab some tea or some other beverage, sit down with me, let's relax while we talk about what you can expect for this month of September of 2023. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so group number 1, first off, I have to say, I kid you not, I just filmed another video right before this, and I'm using the same tarot deck, and I shuffle them, of course, between readings and, you know, choose new cards or whatever for the reading. The ones that came up for you are pretty much like the exact cards that came up in a video I just filmed for another pile, which is actually blowing my mind right now. Anyway, let's dive into what this is. With that aside, let's dive in. So we have the 9 of Cups, the Devil, we have the Sun being reversed, and then the 10 of Swords upright. Your month of September. First off, there's little different things that are a little bit of a pain in the back to you. Like maybe you've actually been dealing with literal back pain, or perhaps there's something that's sort of like, you know, kind of just like little annoyances that are ending and you are clearing them up in your life. If there's other things that you've been dealing with health-wise or in your life that have sort of been like a pain in the back, the month of September is about you finishing those things so that's no longer bothering you. I see that you are going to be shifting certain habits, doing certain things that are going to help you get rid of certain pains in your life, because the 10s are all about completion. So you won't have to deal with those things any longer, whatever they may be. Also with the Devil showing up here, the Devil's a very powerful card that calls us to break chains with certain things that are keeping us stuck or bound. They could be fears, limiting beliefs, feeling like we are oppressed and we can't speak our voice, or feeling like we have to hide certain emotions and feelings, or sort of like breaking out of illusions that are, again, keeping us stuck. So if you have felt like there's certain things in your life that are holding you back or standing in your way from achieving what you want or going after what you want, the month of September is going to be helping you liberate out of those things so that you no longer feel stuck or bound by them. There's an energy within you that I feel like you want to spread your wings and take off and fly and ascend, to a new level. You're wanting to ascend to a new level. However, the devil keeps us chained and stuck. So there might be something in your life that you feel chained and stuck by. So you feel like you can't just like take off whenever you want, or something along the lines of this. The month of September, again, is about seeing those things and learning ways to overcome them. Because if there's a will, there is a way. So this is learning how to overcome those things. Also, for some of you, I feel like you feel stuck maybe to people who kind of bring down your energy, perhaps. Maybe there's someone in your life that tends to really drain you and suck your energy. And whenever you're having a good time or a good day, all of a sudden it's like they come along with like, oh, woe is me, or like, look at all these different things. And we almost feel like drained and stuck by that. If so, I really feel like the month of September is about you putting up boundaries to protect your energy a little bit more, because sometimes it's not worth it. It's nice to be there for people, absolutely. But when it's starting to actually like take a physical toll on us emotionally, mentally, or physically, we need to have certain boundaries in order to maintain the health of ourselves, because if we're not healthy, we can't help anybody else anyway. So it's not good for anybody. So we do need to have boundaries. I do feel like the month of September is about creating healthy boundaries around that area. Also learning how to say no and how to preserve your energy in ways that are healthy, because maybe you've been overextending yourself in certain ways, and that's why we have that 10 of Swords there. If you're overextending yourself in certain ways where your body is telling you, no, please slow down, please stop, or put up a boundary here, then it's time to listen to that so that you can continue having the good stuff. And getting into the good stuff for the month of September, the 9 of Cups and the Sun card. Even when the Sun card shows up reversed, it still comes along with a beautiful sunny energy. However, when the Sun card is coming up reversed, I also feel inclined to ask you, have you been getting enough sun lately? I feel like your body's craving to be outside more, especially since the 10 of Swords is like this card in the dark. Maybe part of your body wants to be in the sun. It's going to be healed by the sun. Of course, we get vitamin D from the sun, which is very important. It helps lift up our mood. It helps us feel better emotionally, literally. It helps us clear up mentally. Being in the sun makes us happier beyond a doubt, and it also helps our body heal. So one thing that I'm really feeling for you is it's time to be outside a little bit more, especially in the sun. Like if you can get a little bit more sun through the month of September, beautiful. That's going to be amazing, and I feel like it's going to do wonders for you. Also, the 9 of Cups. This is about being satisfied about something and feeling like things are going your way. Like maybe something that you've really wanted for some time is actually happening. I honestly feel like this card is making me think that you've been saving up for something that you've been really wanting to attain. And perhaps the month of September is the month that that's going to be happening and coming to fruition, because the 9 of Cups is definitely about achieving or attaining something, but it's something that's going to help you move on to a bigger goal. That's what the 9 of Cups is, because it's not the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is like the completion, the end all be all, woo, we achieved it. But the 9 of Cups is sort of like this win that's going to help you achieve a bigger goal. So maybe there's something that you are investing in, something that you are purchasing that's going to help up level your life in some way, that's going to help you reach that 10 of Cups stage, which is like the success and completion of something. I also see you making really good progress on certain things in your life and learning new ways to fill your cup, especially because I feel like you're going to be learning how to say no to the things that have been weighing on your energy and weighing you down, and coming to this 9 of Cups stage where it's like learning new ways of fulfilling yourself and feeling fulfilled by certain things. I think that there's going to be like little magical things happening through the month of September that are really exciting. Also, September is the 9th month. Cups represent months most of the time in tarot. They're connected to months. And we have the 9. So September is a significant month for you. I also feel like there's certain things that are happening in September that are going to be catalysts to bigger things in the future months. And that's going to be great. It is going to be beautiful. So keep that in mind, that the month of September holds a little bit of magic within it for you. So with that being said, let's move on to the next few cards here, we have the rattle. The rattle is about shaking things up. What in your life needs to be shaken up a little bit? There's certain things that I feel like you no longer want them to be the same anymore. We need to shake some things up, especially when it comes to the things that are sort of stealing your energy, making you feel sort of like a little stab in the back there. Those things need to be shaken up a bit. Maybe it's about moving a little bit more, less stagnation. Like you're wanting to shake things up a little bit, get things moving, gain a little bit of momentum. Also shaking things up when it comes to the devil so that we're no longer feeling like we're bound by certain things, or, you know, there also could be certain things that you are obligated to do that maybe you're not going to want to do, but getting them done and over with is going to be very helpful for you through the month of September. So again, shaking things up. I also see you maybe trying out something new that's really fun for you. It's going to be like shaking things up and it's like, ooh, that's fun and exciting. And I think it's going to open up a new idea or new door for you. The crows are very interesting. They help us get rid of things that we no longer need in our life. So what is it that you no longer need? The crow helps us sort of, like they're like the scavenger a little bit. They help us clear up things that we no longer need. They also help us find things that we do need. So if you are trying to find like an answer to something, an answer to an issue that you're facing, the crow is a spirit animal that helps us do that. But they also help us decompose things that we're like, okay, I gotta let that go. Which is also reminding me of like garbage, like taking out the trash. Maybe that's something you need to do. Or something along those lines. Clearing out your life a little bit. Letting certain things go so that you can have a fresh, more clearer slate. We also have the card of many paths. You might have like, ooh, this is making me feel like there's a message here of there might be a lot of things that we're trying to say yes to. However, ask yourself, what is the most important thing so that you don't overwhelm yourself with way too many tasks? What are the most important things? And what are some things that, you know, maybe we don't need to fill up our schedule overly much? What can we say no to? What can we say yes to? That's a message coming through. Let's see what else we get. The next two cards are astrology cards. Let's see, we have Ceres, which is the nurturing card. It's also sort of like the mother asteroid, and it can indicate like children and things like that. But with the nurture card coming up, I also feel like this is talking about nurturing you and yourself and your fulfillment. So instead of giving your energy away to things that are draining you, how can you this month focus on filling up your own cup? Because again, we have nothing to offer if we're drained out of energy. We have nothing to give. So we need to focus on our own fulfillment first and foremost, on top of like before anything else, because we cannot give from an empty cup. And then we also have the zodiac sign of Cancer coming through. So Cancer could be a prominent zodiac sign for you. You might be a Cancer, for example, or you might know someone who's a Cancer that maybe this reading is tied to. Maybe this reading is like, you know, bringing up someone in your life who is a Cancer. Maybe that's going to be a focus for you. But Cancer, the zodiac sign, also deals with nurture. How can you nurture your emotions? I also feel like this is a month of taking time to regenerate and how to properly nurture yourself so that you feel really good, which would be getting more sun, getting outside and having fun, filling your cup with healthy things that make you feel alive with energy rather than things that make you feel like sinking into the couch and falling asleep. What are the things that help you feel a little bit more alive and help rejuvenate your energy? For some reason, I'm feeling like some of you really want to like take a bath and relax, and I feel like that's going to be the best thing for you. So that's randomly coming up. Like the Cancer card is definitely making me think about water, being surrounded by water, going to a lake, taking a bath. Maybe you've been really feeling like cleansing yourself more lately, and that's going to be a great thing for you through the month of September, because I feel like it's refreshing, renewing, and it's a form of nurturing yourself. So we have that there. And let's dive into some more cards. Let's see, what else do we have for you? Group 1 for the month of September. Patience. Not trying to rush through things, not trying to rush to get things done. How can we maybe move a little bit more slowly to be able to take time for ourselves and have those healthy boundaries? Stick to those boundaries. When you put up a boundary, don't let people cross that. Stick to the boundaries that you know are going to be healthy for you, that you know are going to be good for you. The month of September, it's going to be so important to have that stronger shell. Both of these cards are talking about having a stronger shell. I also feel like it's a month of like retreating a little bit from the things that are not feeling right to you anymore. Like, how can you retreat a little bit to protect your own energy, to protect your mental, emotional, and physical energy? That can also be talking about putting up more boundaries on how you spend your time, your money, and your energy. How can we adhere and stick to those healthy boundaries that help us feel good, that help us maintain healthy levels of our time, our money, and our energy? What are the things that help us maintain healthy levels of that? Because I feel like, ooh, there's a message here with the patience card and with money, okay? So hear me out. One thing that I'm hearing for you is when it comes to spending your money, don't make quick purchases. Instead, rest on them and think about it. If you are really wanting to like purchase something, for example, and you're like, wait a minute, do I spend that much money or do I not? And if you're like second guessing it, one of the advices that I have 2 advices. One of them would be patience, sleep on it. See how you feel the next day. Do you actually need it? Do you wake up the next morning being like, I need that thing. How could I not have purchased it? I need it. Then maybe it's a good purchase. If you are not, however, and you completely forget that you were even thinking about it, then you probably absolutely do not need it. If you let it sit in your cart for a day, online, if you're doing online shopping, if you let it sit in your cart and you forget about it, you probably didn't need it. You probably did not need it. Also, the second advice would be to wait for things that are a holy hell yes. If you see something and you're like, oh my God, that is a full body yes. My entire being, my energy, my entire body is just like, yes, that is the thing I need. Then sure, okay, cool. However, if your body's like, it's like kind of there, maybe kind of not, maybe I could go without it, I don't know, I'm unsure, then no, absolutely no, don't do it. So patience. Sometimes if we take our time to like think about things, but we don't overthink it, we're not just like, oh my God, let me try to find an answer. Instead, you just like take your time. You're just like, okay, let me just like forget about it for a second. And if I feel like I really need it, then okay. Like that is the advice that I feel like you need to hear right now going into the month of September, is have more patience, more discernment, wait a little bit about it. And that is like, Cancer is also about saving, having a savings and saving for a rainy day. It also talks about that. However, it's important to also have fun at the same time, but Cancer does also talk about saving. So there could be an energy where maybe you're thinking about saving a little bit more or putting aside some time, some money, some energy so that you have extra in the reserves and you're not constantly overspending your vital resources. So let's see, what else do we have here? We also have the Creator. I feel like you are calling your power back to like become more in the creator seat. Also, I apologize, I just smacked my microphone and that probably made like some sort of like loud pop or something. But September, I feel like you're gaining your creativity back. You're gaining more creativity, especially if you felt a little bit of burnout. And the 10 of Swords absolutely indicates feeling a bit of a burnout or feeling like there's certain things that are just sort of stealing your energy a little bit. The month of September is about you getting your power back, getting your creativity back and those energies back. And I think it's through putting up those healthy boundaries, being a little bit more patient rather than saying yes to things right away. Wait on them, sleep on them, really think about it. But don't overly think about it to the point where you're literally wasting your energy. That's not what I'm saying either. It's more like forget about it. And if it pops back up in your body, like, yes. Anyway, I'm sure you get the point. The Creator card. I feel like there's a surge of energy coming for you where you are going to feel so much more creative, especially if you do stick to the boundaries rule through September. So again, if you're wanting more energy and if you want that creative comeback, it's going to come through sticking and adhering to those boundaries in your life and getting more sunlight, doing things for you so you can recuperate and restore energy and save time, money, and energy. It is going to help you be so much more creative because you won't have as many stresses happening or as many drainings happening. So that is that. Let's dive into some more cards here. So for the month of September, group number 1, what else do we have for you? We have bondage. Bondage is like the devil card, which we already had come up for you. So interesting. What do you feel bound by? Like, there's something in your life that you might feel stuck to or bound by. Like you might feel bound by your time or bound by a schedule that's not really working for you. Maybe you feel bound by certain responsibilities. Like maybe you feel like guilty if you try to put up a boundary with someone. Maybe you feel guilty for not being productive 24/7. Maybe you feel bound to certain things because there's like some sort of thing that is stealing your freedom in some sort of way, shape, or form. I feel like September, it is calling you to take your power back around these situations, to have a bit of a harder exterior, to have and create more rigid boundaries. Oddly, sometimes boundaries help us be free. Isn't that weird? Like, let's take the example that someone specifically is making you feel guilty for not like being there for them. And let's say you feel like bound and you feel like you're in bondage with this person because they constantly like drain your energy and constantly need you. Let's use that example, okay? Oddly enough, when you set proper boundaries around this situation, it gives you more freedom. It sets you free. Boundaries can set you free if you use them properly. If you put up walls, you close yourself off, which we don't want to put up walls. That's unhealthy. That's not good. When we put up boundaries and we use them to help us stay on track and we use them to help us maintain balance, it literally sets us free. So I feel like you are learning how to create more boundaries on your work versus play time, especially if some of you own your own businesses and you feel like you need to work 24/7, or if some of you like get home from work and you have somebody that constantly needs you and whatever, and like certain things. Whatever this case is, boundaries are going to set you free, and you are learning about that in the month of September. You are learning how to be more patient before making a decision. You're learning how to take up, more time before saying yes to certain things that you don't fully know about, and how to put up those boundaries so that you can be more free and you can rejuvenate more of your energy. Boundaries can also help us break old cycles that are keeping us stuck to things that we don't want to be stuck to. This is a month of realizing what is keeping you stuck and how can I set myself free from that. We also have space clearing. Some of you might, this has come up for a few readings, so I'm curious if you were also one of those piles, but maybe you're just feeling this as a common energy lately. Space clearing. There is an energy of like, let's get rid of the stuff that we don't need so we don't have so much stuff laying around, being a distraction. Space clearing can also be trying to get more organized and like focusing on getting more organized so that things aren't just chaotic and spread around everywhere. I feel like this is a month of space clearing. Also, space clearing in your schedule so that you're not just 100% working all the time. Space clearing when it comes to your energy and how you spend it. Space clearing when it comes to your money and how you spend it. There's just so much, like you're creating more room in your life for things to come in that actually serve you, which is going to be amazing. That's going to be like 10 out of 10. It's going to feel so much better. It's going to feel like you can breathe more. Yeah, anyway, that's going to be great. We also have Field of Dreams. What is it that you really want in life? What do you really want to do? What do you really want to create? What is the next dream that you have? What does that look like? What does your dream life look like? When was the last time you defined what that looked like? Maybe it's going to be really beneficial to define that again in this coming month. And maybe that's going to really help out to be clear on what that is so that you can begin moving towards that and creating boundaries that help you begin manifesting that. Oddly, boundaries, although they sound restrictive, boundaries are actually not. They literally set us free, especially if we use them in the right way. So yeah, this is about nurturing yourself, making more time to rest and rejuvenate and nurture yourself so that you can have the inspiration flowing again. And I do feel like there's something like that is going to help you get to the next level of your life. Like the 9 of Cups is definitely about getting a wish, and the month of September is going to be really significant for you, and it's going to help you actually attain a bigger desire in the future. The things that you're doing this month in September are going to help you literally attain certain things that are going to help you in the future. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure you get the point. So that is what we have here. Next, let's dive into our astro dice. We're going to take the zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that'll be in your life through the month of September. So let's go ahead and find out. We have Libra, some Libra energy. We have Pisces energy and Virgo. And we do also have Cancer showing up. So that could also be another one. So Libra, I think it was Libra, right? Pisces and Virgo, and also Cancer. Those, I would say, are the top zodiac signs that are most likely going to be in your life during the month of September. And now let's take these astro dice, roll them all together, and see what else we get for you. Any last info? So we have Uranus in Aries in the 4th house. The 4th house deals with your home life, also your foundation and your reserves. So your energy reserves, your time reserves, your money reserves. Where are you investing those things? Uranus helps us change things up, also helps us save for a rainy day so that you can leave room for spontaneity. I feel like you really want to bring some spontaneity back in your life because maybe you felt bound and restricted because there's so much going on. There's so many things that we're dedicated to, so many responsibilities to the point where is room for spontaneity? And the zest for life, like one of the most fun things about life is spontaneity. And maybe you feel like lately you don't really have the room for that. And the month of September is about making room for that again, because I feel like you're really wanting that. Also, things may be changing up around your home life. So some of you may actually be moving somewhere new. You may be exploring a new area in some way, shape, or form, because Uranus in the 4th house can definitely be about learning a new area or exploring new things, exploring a new foundation. It could also be changes in your home life in some way, shape, or form. So there could be certain changes that you're wanting to make in your home life. This could also be just living a different life, making a different kind of schedule or routine in the home life. Maybe some of you work from home, and maybe that's going to be shifting in some way. And Uranus is a planet that makes room again for spontaneity. So I feel like that's something that you are opening up more of in your life. Once again, my group number 1s. So that is what we have for your month of September. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm sending you all so much love. And until next time, bye. Okay, so my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is gonna reveal what you can expect through the month of September. So let's dive right in. Okay, group 2. So we have the 8 of Cups being reversed, the Emperor upright. We have the Hangman upright and the Magician upright. 3 major arcana cards. So this is actually going to be quite a major month for you in terms of progress, in terms of how things are going to be going. And even if you don't realize right away that this is actually a major month, this is a major month that will be one that's going to be quite memorable in terms of like you are making a shift here, a major shift, especially since we're going from the reversed Emperor to the Hangman to the Magician. This is big. So First off, let's begin over here. The Eight of Cups being reversed. When we have the Eight of Cups being reversed, it is sort of this energy of maybe feeling like something's incomplete. Like maybe there's a project that you want to create, but we're not done it yet, we're not completed yet. Or maybe there's an aspect of ourselves that's seeking to feel more complete, but there's something of like seeking to complete or needing to complete something. The Emperor being reversed is this energy that we are maybe having a hard time stepping up into the leadership position, and maybe we are waiting for other things to happen, or maybe we are questioning ourselves and maybe feeling like a lack of confidence in certain areas. Maybe we don't feel like we're ready to step up to be the leader. Maybe we don't feel ready to step up into a higher position of our lives and demand what we want or say what we want or whatever. Maybe not demand, because that's like a it's like a more negative sort of word, but what I mean is like stepping up to the more commander leadership position type of energy. So maybe there's been this I don't know, something going on where we feel not this way. The Hangman is this energy where we feel a little bit stuck, and maybe we don't know how to move forward. Maybe we don't know how to transform this energy. Maybe we're waiting for validation from other people. Maybe we're waiting for someone to come rescue us or help us along this journey because we don't know how to do it ourselves. However, the month of September is going to be quite different for you because of the Magician card that we have here. The Magician is the one that figures out how to do it. The Magician figures out the solution to the problem. So whatever problem you are currently facing, if you are like, oh, how do I complete this project? You're figuring that out. Especially if you felt stuck on it, especially if you felt like it wasn't complete and you couldn't get to that top peak goal that you wanted to. All of a sudden, it's like the energy is here. You are gaining the answer. It's all happening. Like the magic is happening. The Magician is someone who manifests their vision. So whatever vision that you are entering the month of September with, if you want to reach that vision of feeling complete or figuring something out, that is the energy that's happening through this next month. And August is coming to my head a lot, especially because August is the 8th month and we have the Eight of Cups here, and the cups resemble months most of the time in tarot. And the 8 is just making me feel like August. There's something in August that maybe we didn't fully complete. Maybe we didn't get it done. Maybe something didn't happen. Maybe there was a delay in something in August that we're still hoping to get done. The month of September, the magic is stirring, my love. The magic is stirring for you to be able to make this certain thing happen. So let's dive into some more cards and let's find out some more information about what you can expect and what is going on this month. So we also have the card of Standstill. That is wildly interesting that we have the Standstill card and also the Hangman card. Both of them are very similar. What is it that you currently feel stuck on? What is it that's currently like being a delay for you? Maybe there's something that you're really wanting to do. Maybe you can't find the time to do it. Maybe that's the issue. Or maybe we're doubting our abilities, or maybe we have to wait on something, or we have writer's block, or whatever. Maybe perfectionism is holding us back from something. Whatever the case is, the month of September is figuring out how to get past this block, figuring out how to get past this standstill. You are going to be figuring that out. You are no longer going to be waiting. I feel like the 22nd of September is going to be really significant, especially for moving things ahead, moving things forward. I don't think it's going to take all the way up until September 22nd for things to start progressing forward. However, I do feel like September 22nd is a significant date for you, especially for this Magician card. So the next card that we have is the Hunter card. What is it that you have your eyes set on? This is a month of action, taking action in order to achieve, in order to attain what it is that you are going after. I think this is about stepping up into that leadership position, because the hunter goes after what he wants, and he also pinpoints what he wants and takes action directly to there, which is something that the Emperor does as well. But the Emperor is reversed over here. So maybe we were doubting like our ability to do that. Maybe we couldn't find the time. The month of September is about finding that time. and overcoming that to find, like you're hunting for the solution, hunting for the goal of something here. We also have the fire element, which is, maybe there's like a burning desire for something, or you're going to get some kind of burning desire for something. Also, I feel like this is going to be so random, but I feel like your digestion is getting better in the month of September. The fire card is like the fire in the belly, the digestive fire. It's very connected to the solar plexus chakra, which is the element of fire, which is literally the chakra of digestion. I'm oddly feeling like that area is going to be better energetically. So I feel like you are going to have better digestion, but it's also because you're taking more action. When we take action, it also helps that area. So maybe you're actually being more active, especially if you've been sitting a lot. There's a message here for those of you that either like work from a desk, or maybe your job doesn't require a lot of movement. Maybe you've been sitting a lot. And maybe that has also been contributing to maybe not the greatest digestion in the world, or Anyway, I feel like that fire is coming back, and you are being called to get up and move more, which is going to help your energy levels. It's going to help all your solar plexus area. And then moving on to the next few cards, we also have the Pisces zodiac sign coming up. Pisces is very creative, but I'm also feeling from Pisces, your dreams are going to be significant. If you've been having really intense dreams, maybe look at them in a symbolic manner, because I feel like your dreams are speaking to you in some way, and they're going to be significant. Okay, we also have Saturn coming up. Boundaries, rules, getting things done. Creating healthy boundaries and rules so that we can get things done as well. This also talks about limitations, delays, responsibilities. This is also a month, I feel like, of catching up on things. Catching up on things that you've really needed to do. Maybe I also kind of see you taking a day off, maybe, or taking a day of the weekend or something like this, to really catch up on stuff that's been sort of piling up that you've needed to do, taking care of different responsibilities so that you can feel like your life is more in order, so that you can feel more like you can be creative again. Because when we just have stuff piling up to the point where we're like, it's almost draining our energy, even though we're not even using our energy to deal with it yet, but the fact that it's just piling up is like mentally so exhausting to like think about, that it's actually draining our physical energy. I feel like it's going to be really important to get those things done and to get organized, and maybe to create more of a system so that things don't pile up like that anymore. I feel like you've already been thinking about that too. You've already been thinking about that, like this need to create a system so that things don't pile up like that anymore. The standstill is also making me think that, maybe we've been not taking care of some things that need to be taken care of, such as like watering our plants, cleaning up the kitchen, doing the laundry, not letting it pile up to where it's like a standstill, and then it's like, and then it just delays us because we have so much going on. I feel like this is a month of getting that more in order and practicing a little bit more discipline around that. And also around completing something that needs to be like completed or done. That's also another aspect for the month of September for you. So let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here to get some more information. I also think you're stepping up. You're being called to step up into more of a leadership position. More of a leadership position. I feel like you really want to up-level your life, but it's going to require being on top of certain responsibilities. And you know that. You already know that deep down inside. You're like, yeah, I know. Leveling up your life is going to be taking care of responsibilities and creating a system so that you can more efficiently take care of those things. Okay, let's see what else we get for you. The Alchemist. transmuting energy, making transformations in your life. Definitely making transformations, alchemizing energy. So things that once weighed on you are now going to be things that work for you because of the way that you're going to be alchemizing them. So that sort of just means like things that once weighed on you, things that once made you feel stuck, once you take care of them, it's something that actually supports you. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you're moving in life again. So when we take care of things that are piling up, such as things that we need to take care of and clean, once we take care of them and clean them, all of a sudden we've alchemized that energy and we feel so good in our space that it ends up being such a benefit. We've transmuted that energy. The universe as well. I feel like you're gaining so much more control over your life, especially with things that have felt out of control. Because it almost feels like there has been certain things in your life that have been a little bit out of control. This is a month of getting those things together so that you have literal more control over your life. I feel like that's going to be really liberating for you. We also have sacred sexuality, which talks about I'm getting a different message in this card than I normally feel. The message for you, group number 2, is giving into pleasure. And I'm not just talking about like the sexual type of stuff. I'm talking about like things that are fun and exciting. Things like, oh, let me just go on my phone and scroll through my phone because it's a dopamine rush, or let me turn on the TV, or let me play a video game, or different things like this. Those things have been stealing your energy from the things that are actually important. And this is a month where you are going to be so much more protective of how you spend your time and your energy, because we can't just waste it on these quick pleasures, right? These quick pleasures that aren't actually benefiting us in the long term. They aren't bringing us long-term happiness. It brings us short-term happiness. It brings us a short-term dopamine rush, but does it support anything of your actual future, of your actual fulfillment? Because the 8 of Cups being reversed here, group number 2, to start us off, the fact that the 8 of Cups reversed implies this energy of something's missing. We're not really maybe feeling like we're fulfilled in the long term. So with sacred sexuality coming up, it talks about being more protective and focusing on our energy more and our pleasure senses, and seeing them as more sacred, and not wanting to spend them on cheap fixes, such as scrolling on your phone or turning on the TV or playing a video game. Because I'm sure you've felt that remorse after those things and been like, oh, I really told myself that I wanted to go on a jog today to get my fitness levels up. Or I really told myself that instead of ordering pizza and eating garbage, I really wanted to focus on enhancing my diet. But here I am falling into those quick, easy pleasures again. So when it comes to those things, I'm sure you felt that remorse before. The month of September is going to be highlighting that a little bit, because I really feel like you are wanting to invest your time into things that are going to bring you more long-term happiness. Like, I really feel like you've been feeling that lately. And so what are those goals? Become really clear about what those things are. Maybe you're already clear about it, but we have to dedicate Saturn responsibilities, boundaries, creating boundaries so that we're not falling into those short-term pleasures that are not giving us, the results that we want anyway. So yeah, group 2. What are those things that you want to cut away more? Saturn is about being restrictive, but in a healthy way, and also using our willpower to create those boundaries so that we actually stay in line with what we want. So Saturn's really important and helps us dedicate. It helps us dedicate. This is a month where I think you are going to be building more dedication around certain things. But how bad do you want it? That's the question. How bad do you want those long-term pleasurable things? If you want to up-level your life, if you want to become the person that you are most inspired by, it's going to take a little bit of discipline. Well, actually a lot of discipline, but it's so worth it. Oh my goodness, so worth it. And I feel like you know that deep down inside already. You know that. So yeah, let's dive into some more cards here to get some more information on your month of September. So group 2, what else do we have for you? We also have the soulmate card coming up. What do you really want out of life? So first off, there's a couple different messages that I have with this soulmate card. I feel like you are gaining a clearer vision of what you truly want out of life. Like when it comes to your pleasures, do we want to spend our pleasures on our true, like, soulmate, long-term happiness type of things? Or do we want to spend, our pleasures on those things that are not soulmate vibes? Also with the soulmate card, your heart is calling for more connection, more quality time with the people that you love. And I feel like this month is going to be focusing on that. For those of you that are single, I feel like this is the month of focusing on calling in your soulmate and who is that, defining who that is, so that you have a clear vision, so that you can know like who doesn't meet those expectations. Like your standards are raising. If you are single, you are raising your standards, which is going to be very healthy for you and very good for you. If you're already in a relationship, one thing that I'm seeing is spending more quality time together with that person, more quality time, doing things that evoke more healthy passion and all of that. Then we also have don't compromise. I love that this card came up right after this. Don't compromise. Don't compromise on these new values that you're creating for yourself, these new boundaries that you're creating for yourself. Don't compromise, because as soon as you do, we know what's coming. We know what's coming. It's the guilt of like, I just gave into that again and didn't do the thing that I've been trying to do. Don't compromise. This is the month of putting up those boundaries. Don't compromise. Also, when it comes to up-leveling your standards for the people that you have in your life, don't compromise. We're not lowering the standards this month. The month of September is about raising those standards and keeping them there, honoring those standards so that you can manifest what it is that you really want out of life. Don't compromise, okay? Even if it sounds so enticing to compromise, don't do it. This is the month of not doing that, okay? That is a message coming loud and clear for this next month. I also feel like pulling more cards. What deck do I want to pull more cards from? That's the question. I feel like I want to pull them. I feel like I want to pull another one from this deck. Let's see. Okay, another 2. Let's go with it. Let's do it. So we also have spring. Time for things to start moving forward. Let's spring into action, especially on those ideas that we want to create. And abundance from within. Abundance from within. That's a really powerful card. This one speaks about feeling abundant, especially with what we already have, and realizing that we can feel abundance from within. Abundance is something, and I know how like corny that can sound. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, abundance from within sounds nice. But truly, once you can actually find out that you can create any emotion or any feeling from within inside yourself instead of seeking it externally, that's where true fulfillment comes from and all that jazz. I feel like this is also your month of no longer feeling like sad about what it is that you don't have yet, but realizing you actually have everything you could ever want and need within you already. And also once you discover that happy emotion that you create from realizing that helps you manifest those bigger things in your life. And I know I might be talking in tongues right now and it might not sound like very clear with what I'm saying. Maybe you get me, maybe you don't. I feel like that message is going to become more and more clear for you over these next few months. So the things that I'm saying right now, if it doesn't make sense to you, that is going to make more sense to you over these coming months. I feel like if you, okay, hold on. Let me gather this thought for a second. Okay, if there's something that's currently making you sort of sad or down about something, this month, I also feel like you're learning how to alchemize that feeling to realize you don't need to feel that way. You don't need to feel that way about that situation because you have everything you could want or need. And I think the practice of gratitude is really going to be like insanely transformative for you. I have a video where I talk about gratitude and the power of gratitude and how to actually like get the power out of that practice. Highly amazing. I will have it linked down below. But I honestly feel like that practice could like really be transformative for you. We also have this spring card, which is again, springing back to life or springing into action with something, especially if you felt frozen on something, because spring is the season that comes after winter, which things are frozen, they're not moving. And we had the standstill, we had the hangman. Spring is springing back into action. So this September, even though we're going into fall, but I guess it depends what side of the hemisphere you're laying on, I feel like your season right now is springing back into action. Springing back into flow, especially if you've been feeling stuck or if you feel like things haven't been moving forward for you, they are about to begin moving forward. And in the month of September, things are going to start moving forward for you again. And there's going to be ways that you spring into more action. And again, it's about keeping those strong boundaries, not compromising on anything that you actually desire to uphold in your life. So, with that being said, let's dive into our Astro Dice. We're going to roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that will be in your life during the month of September. So let's see what we get for you. Pisces is a prominent zodiac sign. Aquarius is a prominent zodiac sign. Aquarius again, actually. Oh my God, 2 Aquariuses. And then we also have Pisces. Did we already get Pisces? Am I crazy right now? I forgot what our first one is. Why am I thinking it's already Pisces? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And Libra. So Pisces, Aquarius, and Libra, and then maybe a mysterious other one. If my brain is literally like farting right now. Like, cannot remember what the first zodiac sign was that came up. But anyway, whoever's watching this right now, probably laughing at me, but that's okay. Let's go ahead now and roll all these dice together to get any last information on this reading for you. Let's see. Okay, we lost a dice. Look at how together I have it right now. So we have Sagittarius in the second house, but what planet is in Sagittarius in the second house? What planet do we have? Let's see, it's under the table. I promise I'm not going to change whatever planet this is actually on. Okay, it's on the moon. Ooh, very cool. Okay. So we have the moon in Sagittarius in the second house. Your emotions are wanting to shoot for something. Listen to your emotions and your intuition this month. It is calling you towards something. I feel like you have a gut feeling that you need to raise your standards and shoot for new goals, create new habits. The second house, what is it that you really value? Also, this is new spending habits. You're being called to create new spending habits and also where you emotionally spend your time, or where you spend your emotions, I guess. Also with this, with Sagittarius in the second house, when it comes to your spending, do you emotionally spend or do you emotionally eat at times? Your emotional spending or consumption is like being highlighted in the month of September. So if you tend to emotionally like shop or emotionally eat, this is a month that's highlighting that, because that might not be the healthiest thing to do, because then afterwards, once we're, feeling okay and our emotions are a bit leveled out, we might be looking at those things that we bought and we're like, wait a minute, why did I do that? Like, I don't need any of those things. I just wasted more money. And then we regret it. Just like the spending of your energy, the spending of your pleasures. When our cup is empty, we will do anything to fill it, such as scrolling on our phone to get the quick dopamine fix, such as watching TV or, whatever, or even, gaining pleasure from partners who are not our soulmate just to fill the empty cup. But what you may notice is that when we spend from a place of being empty, we are never satisfied. It does not fill our cup unless we focus on those long-term things that are actually truly fulfilling. So instead of just putting a drop in our cup and then we're still thirsty after, we're seeking the full cup. Raising your standards in all aspects when it comes to spending your money, spending your energy, your time, your passion, everything. Sorry, I just tapped my microphone, so that might have made a loud sound. Raise your standards of where you spend those things. Instead of seeking a drop of happiness, seek the full cup. What is the full cup? What's going to be the most fulfilling for you? Okay? That is the most important thing right now. So, group number 2, that is what we have for you for the month of September. Why do I also feel like saying the month of April? Maybe there was something significant in the month of April that's also for some reason coming through. I don't know why that's coming through, but I felt like saying that because Spirit is screaming April in my head right now. So yeah, anyway, I don't know. You have to figure that one out. But I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. And until next time, bye my loves. All right, my group number 3s. If you chose this pile to reveal your month of September, then it's gonna reveal your month of September. So let's dive right in. All right, group number 3. I just need to tell you something right now. So I took a little break, came back, and totally forgot to turn my microphone on, and I have to say I just gave you guys like one of the best readings ever. I was so happy with it. I was proud of it, and then I look at my camera and realize that my microphone's not on and there was no audio recorded that whole time. But we're gonna get through it again and go through it again, and hopefully it's just as good as the last time. But thank you for joining me here, and let's dive into your reading. So we start off with the High Priestess being reversed. We have the Wheel of Fortune upright, and then we have the Four of Pentacles and Justice being reversed over here. Your month of September is actually going to be a quite significant month for you. We have 3 major arcana cards, and whenever we have like predominantly major arcana cards in a reading, it is a very significant time for you. Starting off with this High Priestess being reversed, this is a month where you are being called to listen to your intuition. You're being called to listen to your inner guidance system. When the High Priestess is reversed, maybe we've been denying our inner guidance system, or maybe we haven't fully been trusting our intuition. So maybe we've been seeking validation or confirmation from other people. Maybe we've been waiting for a sign from the universe for a really long time, and we're like, universe, give me another sign. If this is the right thing, give me another sign. You know, waiting for those right signs, waiting for that validation, rather than trusting your own intuition. And maybe we've even had a hard time tapping into that intuition, and we're like, okay, what is my intuition telling me? How do I trust myself and feel what is the correct move? The month of September is about listening to yourself and no longer seeking things outside of you, because whenever we seek, validation outside of us, or we're constantly seeking signs from the universe, we kind of stay stuck, because we're taking all of our inner power and putting it out there in the world externally, and we're saying, I need to wait for some external thing. I need to wait for some external validation before I can do something or make a decision or feel like I can make a decision and trust it, right? Because I feel like you're not really trusting things until you get like a for sure sign or a for sure thing. And that's kind of a hard way to live life, because then we're constantly feeling like we're waiting. And how do we know when to truly trust things anyway? Trust is something that is always found within, and you are being called in the month of September to trust yourself and learn how to communicate with yourself, and how to find your intuition, find your gut instincts, and hear what those actually are, so that you can cultivate that level of trust, and you can focus on you and what you want and what feels right for you, rather than waiting for anything externally. So this is a month of doing that. And the Wheel of Fortune upright is actually such a positive card to come up in the upright position. And it indicates a change. It indicates an accumulation of events that have happened that are now, turning us in a new direction. And I feel like you're wanting to make different changes in your life. And this is about you trusting yourself that these changes are the right ones to make. If you feel it internally and you think like, hey, I think my inner gut is telling me to make some of these changes, then yes, that's right, let's do it. So the Wheel of Fortune coming in also indicates that you are on like, you are raking in good karma, basically. And you're on the upspin of this wheel, and you're going upward. So you even might think about different ways of like up-leveling yourself. You might think about different ways of like, how can I start rising up my level of confidence? How can I start rising up, my self-image, how I view myself? And you might be interested in making certain glow-ups in your life, because I feel like you are ready to like step up your game, right? Rather than not trusting yourself and thinking that everything outside of you knows better than you do. It's like, no, only you know yourself as good as you do, and only you know what's best for you. So that puts the power back in your hands. And I feel like this is your month of actually literally calling your power back. Okay. Also, Four of Pentacles being reversed here. When the Four of Pentacles is reversed, our sense of security, we are wanting to feel more secure. We're wanting to feel more sure, right? And that kind of ties in with our High Priestess thing here. This is a month where I think you're going to be making new habits that help you feel more secure. So when it comes to your spending habits, for example, you might be really interested in making certain changes financially in order to feel more in balance, in order to feel a stronger sense of security, especially with justice being reversed here as well, because there's certain things in your life that you feel are imbalanced. Maybe you've been putting other people's priorities and needs before your own. And maybe we can't be doing that anymore because it's taking away our sense of security, and it's taking away, time and special resources that we could be putting towards ourselves and helping ourselves grow. And of course, it's nice to give to other people too, right? But we can't give from an empty cup, nor can we really give from like a pretty, slightly empty cup, right? We need to find fulfillment and have an overflowing cup so that we can actually give better to others, and we also sustain our own levels of fulfillment and security and joy and all of that. So that is one of the realizations that I feel like you've been coming across lately, especially the past few months. And I feel like your intuition's been telling you that. It's been telling you to make certain changes, and you've been feeling it. You do feel it, that you want to create more balance in your life. Your intuition has been telling you to start putting yourself first a little bit more. And it is nice to give to other people, but again, we need to kind of figure out ways to make ourselves full first before we can think about giving to others. It's just like when you ride on an airplane and they're like, you need to put on your mask first before helping others, because it doesn't make sense to help others before yourself, because then if you don't have enough oxygen, you're going to pass out, and then the other people won't get helped anyway. So you got to help yourself first. And you have been feeling that lately. Justice. Where do you have those imbalances, and where do we create those balances? And it's about putting your foot down, creating certain promises to yourself, upholding those promises, and bringing justice to those situations, bringing fairness to you. Don't be afraid to speak up about what's fair. We don't need to flaunt it either. We don't need to, but just make decisions based on what is more fair and what you need. Okay? So I feel like the month of September is about putting you first, making certain changes that are going to really help you feel more abundant, more secure, more safe, and so that you don't ever need external validation from anything else but yourself. So that's going to be a really big shift there for you as well for the month of September. And now let's dive into our other cards here. So our next oracle card, we have the Lightning card, and this one is a surge of energy. This talks about an emotional buildup that's been building up for quite some time. So this lightning in you, when you think about lightning, it's a very powerful, quick action force. So there is something in your life that maybe you've emotionally been building up for a while. And this buildup is going to help you take deep action in the month of September. It's going to help you make radical change in the month of September. And it's also a surge of energy. So if you've been really needing that push or that surge of energy to do something or to make certain changes in your life, that is coming for you in the month of September. Lightning can also be where things happen very quickly as well. So if there's been something that maybe you're thinking, oh, that's gonna take a long time, that's gonna take a lot of energy, in this next month, I feel like things are gonna happen quicker than you think because there's gonna be a surge of energy at some point in the month where all of a sudden there's quick action, spontaneous feelings that's like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta make this change, and I'm making this promise, and that's it. So that's also happening. Also, on top of that, with the Four of Pentacles being reversed, something that I almost forgot to talk about is there's this feeling like you are wanting to release different things that you used to be attached to. And this could deal with like having a lot of like belongings or like clutter in your house or different things that are sort of distracting for you. There's also a feeling that I'm getting that you've been feeling intuitively, like you want to declutter, you want to get rid of certain things that are just sitting around collecting dust at this point. And it's also so healthy for our energy to get rid of those things and to clear up our space because it literally helps our energy and our chi flow better. For example, have you ever walked into a super messy room before and it was just absolute chaos, and then mentally you actually felt cluttered mentally and it made you feel just like all sorts of distracted and chaos in your mind because of the, you know, whatever the chaos that was in the room? Versus have you walked into a room before that is so clear, so clean, very minimal, and then all of a sudden it feels like your brain can expand, it can think, it feels like your energy is flowing, and it feels like you have clarity. That is like the difference of how we perceive those energies, because your space, like any space that you're in, is also a reflection of your internal world. So if your home has a lot of clutter or has a lot of things that you barely touch, you barely use, and they're just sitting there collecting dust, that's actually affecting you mentally, right? And vice versa. Your mentality is affected by that, and that affects that, and both of them affect each other. So when you do a big clean out and clear out, all of a sudden, you also clear out your internal energy and your chi will flow better. And that might be also what kind of maybe also contributes to this big surge of energy that you're gonna get, because maybe you're gonna be getting rid of certain things. And if you were also part of that reading in the previous month, because I feel like the month of August, there was also a group that was getting rid of stuff and decluttering. If you were also that same group, then that is funny, because I feel like your energy is still going through a decluttering phase where maybe you're wanting to get rid of certain things, you're wanting to do a big clear out of your home, your energy, and the things that you have, so that you can just come down to the basics and not have so many things just laying around, because it's just chaotic for the energy. So you might also be in that same energy still for some of you. And then we also have Taming the Wind, and this has the number 55 on it. The number 55, fives numerologically are all about change and shifting. So it just makes absolute sense that you have that here, because lots of things I feel like are changing and shifting for you, especially with this Wheel of Fortune. It's like you're really making new decisions and switching things up in your life. And then together, the 5 and the 5 equal a 10, which is also the Wheel of Fortune, is also the number 10, and that symbolizes new beginnings. So there's a lot of changes and shifts happening right now that are gonna help you make a new beginning. And then we also have Taming the Wind. So if there's certain chaos in your life, I feel like you're really like finding ways to calm down that chaos and getting more in control of your life. Getting in more control of it. On top of that, I also feel like you're wanting to like have less gossip in your life. You're wanting to have less gossip. The wind is like communication. When we tame the wind, maybe we don't want to take part in certain conversations anymore that are just negative and don't make you feel good and are just like, what is the point of having that conversation? What is the point of talking about that? I feel like you are wanting more honesty and integrity in your life. And maybe that's one of the promises that you've been making to yourself lately, is wanting to be more honest and be of integrity. So rather than just agreeing with people and being like, oh yeah, totally, when you actually don't agree, I feel like you're wanting to step up your game of being honest and being authentic and honoring yourself. And you're wanting to show up more authentically. You're not wanting to just fluff up the air and just say whatever in order to keep the peace, in order to and I feel like you are a peaceful person, so you are wanting to keep the peace, but at the same time, you're also wanting to keep your integrity. So we can be honest with compassion. We can be honest in nice, acceptable ways. And I feel like that's something that maybe you've been thinking about lately, is not wanting to be all over the place, and also not wanting to talk about things that are genuinely not making you feel good at the end of the day. And we also have Blade. And Blade is another card that talks about getting to the point of something. What is the point of certain things? What's the point of having all of this clutter? What is the point of having gossipy conversations that don't make us feel good? What is the point of those things? If it doesn't have a point, why hang on to it? Why contribute and continue with it? So I feel like that's a big thing that might be going through your mind lately, is asking what's the point. And maybe that's also going to be one of the major questions that you ask yourself as you're doing decluttering. You might look at something and you're like, what's the point of having this? If it doesn't have a point, maybe I just need to release it. Maybe I need to let it go. And then the Blade is also about just cutting ties with things, cutting attachments with things that we don't need anymore. So if there are certain things in our life that maybe we feel guilty for letting it go, but we never use it and it's never whatever, it's okay, cutting the ties. The Blade helps us cut those things out that we want to let go of, that are going to help clear our energy and all of that. So that is coming up here. I also wanted to say, with the Taming the Wind card and the Lightning card, sometimes these can indicate that we're getting dreams lately that are kind of about weather. So you might be dreaming about tornadoes or tsunamis or rainstorms or other kind of crazy things happening. If you've been having dreams like that lately, this is a confirmation that there's a lot of change coming up. When we have dreams of storms or stormy weather, it's an energy and dreams that are confirming that change is coming. And it's going to stir things up for a little bit so that we can have a new beginning, so that we can get rid of certain things. And it's almost making me think of when you do a big house cleanup, things get way messier before they get clean, especially if you're cleaning out drawers and cleaning out things and getting rid of stuff. Your house is going to get really messy before it gets clean, you know what I mean? So the storm kind of stuff is just reminding me of that. And I think it's just saying don't fear the storm, don't fear the chaos of going through that decluttering phase and letting things go, and decluttering the conversations that you have, decluttering the home that you have, decluttering things in your life that you want to detach from. I feel like that's part of the process, right? And then the next card that we have is the 5th house card, which is another 5. So it's confirming the 5 energy. I really feel like your angel number for the month is the number 5. So if you've been seeing that number 555 on the clock, or if you've been seeing other things like that, that is just confirmation that there's a lot of shift energy happening for you. Also, when it comes to the 5th house though, in astrology, this is about the self. This is about putting you first. So instead of putting other people first, instead of putting yourself on the back burner, September is a month where you're completely changing that around, and you're going to be putting yourself first. This is also the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are, right? So no longer are we people-pleasing and not doing that. I feel like you're going to be really practicing honesty. The Blade is also about honesty, getting to the point, but it can do it with compassion. And then here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness, and pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. So what is fun and exciting to you? What makes your soul feel lit up? I think that's also going to be a focus for you in the month of September. What are the things that make you feel so excited and lit up in the world? Is it having a clear energy, feeling organized, feeling good, honoring your authenticity, and putting yourself first so that you can fill up your own cup? Because again, we cannot give from an empty cup. It's impossible. So we have to fill up our own cup first. And then when we give, it's so much more powerful because we have a full cup to give from. Maybe it's overflowing, and then it's just so much fun to give to others because it's literally overflowing. So this month, I feel like you're going to be putting yourself first in order to create more fulfillment for you. And you do so by putting yourself first and asking yourself, what do I love? What lights me on fire, right? Leo and the sun, what lights me on fire so that my light's shining so bright and I can come into a room and be that bright shining light that's so ready to share and share that joy, share that light. So I feel like that's also a big realization for you in the month of September. And creating, I want to speak about like the financial habits here, because the Four of Pentacles talks about making new financial habits that make you feel abundant. So if you are being called to make more balance with your finances, it suggests doing it from a place of abundance rather than from a place of scarcity. So sometimes when we make a new financial plan, we're doing so because we're like, oh my God, I have so much anxiety. I need to make a new financial plan because like I need to create more security and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes we do it from a place of anxiety. But whatever we choose to do something from, like whatever energy we choose to do something from, that's the energy we also get out of it. And of course, we don't want to get more of that anxiety energy or scarcity or lack energy. But instead, when we make a new financial plan, because it's coming from a place of abundance and because it's coming from a place of, wow, this is going to make me feel so much better. It's going to give me such a strong sense of security, and it's going to help me feel more abundant. This new financial plan is going to bring more security, more abundance, and from that place, it will make me feel so good. If you are making a new financial plan, do it from that space, because that space is going to be the space that gives you the results that you actually want, rather than from the space of like, oh no, I need to like do this, and oh, this is so scary. Like, we don't want to do it from there. So hopefully that makes sense there. The next card we have is Gemini. So Gemini might be a very strong zodiac sign in your life in the month of September. So maybe you know a Gemini, maybe you have Gemini energy yourself, maybe it's a sign that's going to be prominent for you. But besides that, Gemini is also one that's very curious and is all about learning, communication. So are you wanting to be more honest? Maybe that's a side of this. Maybe we're learning how to be more honest, and maybe we're leveling up our communication game in the month of September. So this is something that I feel like is going to be very powerful for you. And I'm also seeing like a very strong like partnership or friendship in this next month. Like I'm seeing you having a lot of fun with a particular person in your life. Like this is someone who you're bouncing ideas off of, someone who you really trust, who you know you can be open and honest with, and they're actually not going to judge you, and they're going to support you and listen to you and all of that. I feel like you're going to have that person there with you in this next month who you're able to bounce ideas off of, get advice from, and all of that kind of stuff. But again, we're not seeking advice because we need the validation or we need to listen to other people. But sometimes it's just nice to have somebody to bounce ideas off of, regardless. But I do want to remind you, the High Priestess being reversed is all about listening to yourself first and foremost, and not giving too much power to other people's opinions and things like that. So it's just a little reminder there. But let's go ahead and dive into our next few tarot cards. We have Sacred Sexuality. I feel like this one came up for another group, or maybe this was in like a recent reading I did. I can't really remember anymore. But this is calling us to focus on where we are spending our time and energy. I feel like this is a powerful month for you to say no to the things that you no longer like want to do in your life, and feeling comfortable with saying no. And no is a full sentence. It's not about over-explaining ourselves. Like if we don't want to do something, like if a friend is like, hey, oh my God, let's go do this thing, you're like really not feeling it, we don't need to come up with some sort of elaborate excuse to say no. Sometimes we can just say, no, it's not going to work for me today. That's it. Done. No is a complete sentence in and of itself, right? So I feel like one powerful thing for you in the month of September is learning how to say no and not having an overwhelming amount of anxiety when we say no. I feel like that's going to be very powerful for you. And this is about protecting your energy. Sacred sexuality is about protecting your energy and saying no to the things that you don't want so that you can say yes to the things that you do want. Yes to the things that are also going to bring you more long-term fulfillment rather than a short-term pleasure that burns out really fast and then all of a sudden we're feeling like crap again right after. When we focus on those on the things that make us feel good and help build our energy and help sustain levels of happiness and pleasure, that's when we feel really good rather than giving into like scrolling on our phone. Like, have you ever like scrolled on your phone at night when you wanted to do something like reading or doing something that was like, I don't know, a bit more like not necessarily productive, but a bit more fulfilling. Like maybe you had this plan to do something a bit more fulfilling, then you find yourself scrolling on your phone, and then afterwards you have this like guilt and this feeling of like, oh wow, I just like did that again. It's like this frustrated kind of feeling. Those things don't bring us long-term fulfillment. So I feel like another thing for you is learning how to protect your energy and seeing your energy as sacred, not wanting to exploit it by saying yes to things that you don't actually want, or by wasting your time and energy doing the things that you didn't actually really want to do, but it might have just was a quick dopamine fix in the moment, right? I feel like that's going to be a major focus for you. We also have higher perspective. Answers are coming for you, especially if you've had a hard time listening to your intuition. I feel like this is the month where your intuition is going to be speaking a lot more loudly, and it's going to really help you make certain changes in your life. Paradox can be like an interesting realization that we have through the month. Something where, for example, by saying no to things which you think are going to make you feel so bad, like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings, I don't want to hurt their feelings. But the weird thing is if we say yes to something we don't want to do, we're also hurting our own feelings. So which side of the coin do we want to be on? Do we want to be on the side of the coin where we're honoring ourselves, and then we're also allowing that other person who maybe we said no to, we allow them the chance to go find somebody who actually wants to do the thing? It's a win-win. So saying no, honoring yourself, is actually a win-win, because when we say yes to something we don't actually want, all of a sudden we show up, we don't actually want to be there, we're not fun to be around. It's like, there's no point. There's no point in saying yes to something we don't want to do. So yeah, we also have surrender. Learning how to surrender and not hang on to certain things anymore that are going to drag down your energy and make you feel bad. It's like, let's surrender. Let's let things go. Let's let things be, not overwork ourselves over stuff that's just not going to be good in the long term. Surrendering. It's a very powerful practice. Let's see what else we get for you. Group 3 is what else we have for the month of September. I feel like I've said the sentence, the month of September, so many times throughout this reading. So if you've been here like, oh my God, if you say the month of September one more time, I might say it a few more times before the end of this reading, just warning you. Let's see what else we get for you. Group 3. I am feeling this one, and I'm feeling this one. Don't compromise. That is such a powerful card. That one's been coming up a lot lately in readings. Don't compromise. So when you want to say no to something and you're genuinely feeling a no, don't compromise on that. If you have certain standards that you need to be met, don't compromise. Don't compromise yourself, your integrity, your honor. Don't compromise your intentions. What intentions do you want to make this month? I feel like you're making new intentions for yourself for now and for the rest of the year, in fact. There's like new intentions that you're wanting to put forward and make for yourself. So that is powerful. Honor those things. Now we're going to get into the last little part of this reading. We're going to roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs that will be in your month, or in your life during the month of September. And let's see what those top 3 are. Sagittarius. Sagittarius has literally been coming up for like so many people lately. Libra, Sagittarius, Libra energy. Sagittarius again. and Pisces, Sagittarius, Libra, Pisces, and I also feel like Gemini is going to be a prominent one for you. Some of you actually might be Geminis that are listening to this, just because I feel like that's a really prominent one. Or you know a Gemini. I feel like Gemini is prominent for you. But now let's go ahead and roll all these dice together to get any last information for you. Okay, one just fell, and it fell onto the 11th house. You'll just have to trust me on that. And then also Leo. So, oh, the sun in Leo in the 11th house. Putting yourself first and allowing yourself to be authentic in groups of people. The 11th house is like the world, showing up to the world as the authentic you. And realizing that that's how the world wants to see you. They want to see you for the authentic you. We also did have the 5th house, which was Leo and the sun. Literally, look at that. The sun in Leo and the sun in Leo. That's wild. And the 11 kind of looks like the Gemini, even though it's not correlated with Gemini. But yeah, the sun in Leo in the 11th house, showing up authentically to the world. I'm also going to restart my camera really quick because it is about to cut out, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, showing up authentically to the world, showing authentically up to your friendships, and realizing that one of the best things to do, like sometimes we're scared to show up as our real self because we don't want to be rejected by other people, and we don't want, like, we want acceptance, we want to belong, we want to feel like we belong, we want to be accepted by other people. And so we sometimes end up falling into a people-pleasing habit or mentality because we want to feel accepted so much. But then the thing is when we get acceptance, it doesn't even feel like we're accepted because our inner self, our true self, knows that we haven't been authentic in the process. Therefore, we're not actually being accepted for who we are. It's a fake acceptance. And we can feel that on an internal level. And so we never really feel like we fully belong. And we almost kind of feel uncomfortable because we know we're kind of putting on a mask, right? And we're always scared of, like, you know, people finding out our true selves. We're always scared of you know, other people's judgments, so we keep on that mask, but then we're not making those real friendships anyway. So I think one of the biggest realizations that you've been having is, like, if I'm my most authentic self, and if I show up as the real me, that's the only time that you're going to find the people who actually resonate with you, that actually do accept you. And those are the people that you want to be around, right? You want to be around people where you feel accepted for you, not being accepted for, like, the mask. We're not, the mask isn't seeking acceptance. Like, the mask doesn't care. Let's seek real acceptance, real friendships that we can feel on the soul level, that help us shine our light, that we feel like we can fully shine around. But the only people that, you know, the only way to find those people is to be ourselves. And the people that we lose in the process, those weren't real ones anyway, right? They were there for the mask. But the ones that are there for you are the ones that are going to stay. And those are the ones that you're going to draw towards you and magnetize towards you by being your authentic self. So that's just a little advice I wanted to leave this on, just since we have this sun in Leo in the 11th house. This is also spotlight energy. If any of you do work online or do, like, work with traveling or anything like that, this can be like a really abundant time for that. It can indicate an abundant time for social media, getting recognition for your talents. It can also be putting yourself out there. Like, if you've been thinking about starting something like that, this can also be the beginning of that, and, like, being like, okay, here I am, this is me. I'm going to stop hiding the fact that I want to start this big online project or something. It's like, let's go, let's do it. So that's also another aspect of this. It's showing up, showing as you, allowing your full light to shine in so many ways. And that is that, my loves. So thank you so much for joining me here, group number 3 for your reading for the month of September. I'm sending you all so much love. I hope you have a beautiful and amazing month, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, so my group number 4 is, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading for the month of September, so let's dive right in. Okay, group number 4, we have the 10 of Pentacles being reversed, the 10 of Wands being reversed, double tens, and we have the 9 of Wands being reversed right after, and then the World card being reversed. So they're all reversed. However, there's a lot of, like, good kind of things happening in this reading. So let's dive into what's going on here. I first want to talk about these 2 cards in the center. The 10 of Wands being reversed is indicating that maybe you're realizing that you've been putting way too many responsibilities, way too many dedications on your shoulders, and it has been quite a lot to carry and quite a lot to deal with. Possibly even sometimes when this card comes up can indicate that we've even been getting like sore shoulders lately or like a sore back, and that energetically is correlated to carrying too much, like putting too much of a load on yourself with like responsibilities and obligations and other things like that. So maybe you've been like expecting way too much out of yourself lately, and that's been like a big realization for you, is like, oh my goodness, I need to slow down. I've been like putting way too many high expectations. I feel like part of you almost feels guilty for like taking a day off or taking time off. Like whenever you go out and have fun, part of you is like, do I deserve to do that? Oh my God, I need to get things done. There's so many things on my plate. And it's like we can't sit down and rest. We can't sit down and do things because there's so much stuff piled up. But the thing is like, there's always gonna be stuff to do. There's always gonna be more that we could do. But if we don't live life in between that, then what are we doing? Like, if you think about your entire life and what your entire life is going to be, do you want your entire life to be like working, doing, and then like when's the time for you? That's just the question I want to throw out there. But I feel like you've been thinking about that lately, is like, wait a minute, when's the time for me? Like, when am I going to have a break and feel genuinely good with taking a break? The month of September for you, I think, is about lightening your load and not feeling guilty for doing so. You already do a lot. Like, I can tell, the cards that we have here, you already do a lot. And part of you almost feels behind, like this 10 of Pentacles being reversed. You almost feel like you need to take on this much work because part of you feels behind, like you're not gonna make it somewhere. But where are you trying to make it? Maybe you're trying to make it towards the time of where you can take time off, but when are you going to feel that way? So I think it's about how you go about building your life. What kind of life are you wanting to build? Are you wanting to build one that keeps you busy all the time, that you always feel guilty for taking time off? Or are you wanting to build one that naturally has breaks in between? Because otherwise we reach burnout, and I feel like you've been there before. Like group number 4, you've had burnout before. Maybe you even have it right now. I don't know. But I just feel like this month of September is just, let's lighten the load and let's take some time off without feeling guilty about it either. It's okay if not every single intention that you had got done. We do need to take time off every now and again. Of course, there are certain responsibilities that do have deadlines that we do need to get to, yes. And that's like important. But when it comes to other things, how can we begin shifting some things in our life, maybe even delegating some tasks? Because sometimes the 10 of Wands being reversed can indicate delegating some of those tasks in ways to where we can lighten that load and still meet certain deadlines. Maybe that's going to be really important. And maybe, again, that's another thing that's been coming up for you, is like, maybe we need to think about that. Maybe we need to stop promising people certain deadlines that are putting way too much pressure on us. There's been a lot of pressure lately that you've been feeling, and I just, oh, my love, I just want to see you drop some of that weight and being able to like take a break, take a breath. But thankfully that is what the month of September is going to be for you, because I think you've been feeling that as well. And yeah, it's time. It's time to rest and recuperate, because the 9 of Wands being reversed here as well is sort of being on the defensive and not wanting to really take a break and having our guard up, and I feel like this is going to be you kind of having your guard up when it comes to people saying like, oh, I need you to do this, or I need you to do that, and you need to come here to do this. And maybe even for yourself, for taking on certain responsibilities, maybe you're going to have a little bit more of your guard up and be a little bit more discerning with your time and your energy, and to say like, hey, no, I deserve to take a break, and I'm going to be taking one, like, because I need it. And maybe some of you, maybe it's time to plan a vacation or something like this, or at least, yeah, again, take some time off. The World being reversed as well. Maybe not everything is going to get done, but that is a-okay. This is your month of taking some breaks here and there and giving yourself a little bit more time with certain things. Giving yourself a little bit more time, because that's the fulfillment. The most fulfilling memories are not our memories of like of like, yeah, I got more work done. Our most fulfilling memories are the ones that we spend like seeing our family, seeing the people we love, creating those cherishing, exciting, happy memories full of laughter and fun and joy. Like that is the bread and butter of life. The bread and butter is not working. And of course, sometimes we can be passionate about work too. That's cool. But like, the bread and butter is the memories that we share. And I feel like this is a month of wanting to like put your time towards making some more of those memories. Okay, guys. Okay, I don't look at the cards before they come out, but look at the freaking oracle card that just came out. Okay. Look at this. Like, if we aren't on the money with this reading so far, like here we go. This was self-explanatory, the time master. The month of September is you learning how to master your time. And I feel like you're gonna be working some things, working your magic during this next month in order to master your time better, in order to create a schedule that better works for you, right? Maybe it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And I know so many people say that. And I feel like so many people have said that ever since reading the book, like 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. That's an okay book, in my opinion. It does have some powerful information in it, but it definitely wasn't my favorite book in the world, but it does have some powerful information on how to work smarter and not harder. And part of it is with delegating tasks. So maybe that's something that you're going to be doing lately. We also have the gatherer. The gatherer. Maybe saving and gathering your time and resources. I feel like you're the type of person that if you have a free window of time and something needs to get done, you're like, oh, I'll fill it up with that. I'll fill it up with that. But I think that you should gather more free time in your schedule. And I feel like that's something that you're going to be doing there. I also see you gathering ideas on how to work smarter. We also have the magic card coming up for you, angel number 33. You're calling in new people in your life who can help you with certain tasks. We also have a 3 right here numerologically. 3s is your number. And there is... I actually feel like you're inviting magic to happen in your life in the month of September that's going to really help you with your schedule. I honestly see 2024, actually, I'm getting visions of 2024 now. 2024 is going to be a year where you are going to be so much more of a master of your time. You're going to be able to work your magic and be able to gather more abundance, more money in your life, with also being able to take more time off and create more fun, happy memories. I feel like there's magic accumulating in your life right now. Like you've put so much forward. And I do feel like there's something working behind the scenes right now that's going to be helping you out. So yeah, magic is coming through, my love. Love when that card comes up. The next couple cards that we have Taurus and we have Aquarius. So 2 zodiac sign cards came up for you. These might be some prominent people in your life for one. So you might know a Taurus, you might know an Aquarius. Those might be some prominent people that show up in your life during September. However, they can also indicate the energies that you're going to be dealing with. Taurus is abundant. Taurus likes comfort and abundance, but Taurus also doesn't like working too hard for their abundance. That's one thing about, because it's ruled by Venus. Venus is a feminine energy that likes to relax, but is abundant through the relaxation and enjoys that. So I think that you're creating a more comfortable life for yourself by creating a schedule that works better for you, thinking outside of the box with this Aquarius energy. You are ready to change things around and think outside of the box. There's something like online that might help you. Like maybe AI is going to be something that helps you out in your work to delegate some tasks to AI. I don't know. That's very Uranus Aquarius energy. Or maybe it's something online, maybe finding like someone online that can help you with your workload, right? Like whatever, something like that. I don't know. Just throwing out random ideas that may or may not actually correlate to you. However, just throwing out ideas since Aquarius came up here. But I do see you delegating a bit more tasks. Taurus is also about saving more money and creating more abundance, but you're doing it in like outside of the box ways that you've never really thought of before, that's going to help you deal with time management a little bit better. So we have that over there. Let's go ahead and dive into our next set of cards here. Group 4, what else do we have for my beautiful group 4s? The month of September. I also feel like these two cards, or a few cards, are wanting to come out as well. We have reclaim, reclaiming your power. We don't really feel very powerful when we feel like our responsibilities have power over us, right? So this is a month of you reclaiming your power. Putting your magical crown back on of being the leader of your life. We have the manifest card. Whatever you're trying to manifest right now, I feel like September is going to be the precipice month of the magic starting to accumulate so that you can manifest these new things in your life. Maybe you're trying to manifest a vacation. Maybe you're trying to manifest help for whatever it is, your big workload that you have. You are, like, the pieces are coming together in the month of September, and possibly even something that you've been wanting to manifest for a while now is actually happening in the month of September. Something that you've been wanting to manifest for a while. The magic is like coming together and like building here. We also have the card of compassion, and we also have love. I think like your emotions, you're going to feel so much happier in the month of September. You're going to feel so much happier. Your heart is going to like sing with happiness in this next month because of the things and the changes that you're doing. Maybe some of you are going to take a course on how to manage your time better, maybe, or reading a book or something that's going to really help you like gather the tools and the information that you need to actually fully make these changes. I also think that there's people that really want to help you. With this compassion and love card, I'm feeling like there's people in your life that really want to help you. So there's that aspect too. Let's dive into these cards as well. Let's see. Group 4, group 4. What else do we have for my group 4s? Cooperate. I mean, that one's self-explanatory too. You are absolutely calling in like the team to help you, like delegating certain tasks. Maybe some of you are gonna like hire a maid or something, or hire like extra help of some kind to help you with certain things. Let's see. What else do we have? Maybe you also have friends that want to help you with certain tasks. Like maybe you already have people that want to offer their help. We have intention coming up. This one comes up so many times in this deck of cards. The intentions that you enter the month of September with, I feel like are going to manifest. If you enter this next month with the intention to free up more time, but still create more abundance, that is going to manifest. Whatever intention you enter this month in, I feel like this is a very magical month for you. It is full of magic, and I feel like you've been feeling that too. I feel like the universe wants to help you, like, and it always wants to help everybody, but like, I feel like you've been feeling that energy lately. This is gonna be a really positive month for you, truly. Your love life as well, I feel like certain things are manifesting in your love life where you reclaim your spark, you reclaim your time to put more energy into your love life. Yeah, I feel like more time with your family, and there's like fun new memories that are being created for you. Really fun new memories. People love to spend time with you, group 4. You have friends, maybe loved ones, that really love spending time with you, and they want more of that. And you want more of that. And that's all like accumulating and manifesting for you in this next month. So that is what we have here. I do feel like pulling more cards for you since I feel like this reading has gone by really quick. So let's pull some more from this deck. Let's see my group 4s. I feel like doing like a full shuffle over here. Okay. Let's see my group 4s. Goddess of oneness. Things are coming together. I love this card, by the way. It also usually indicates like feeling really good about yourself, feeling really put together, feeling like You want to go out and like show off who you are. It's like you feel good to be in your own skin. That's an energy coming out in this next month for you as well. Feeling good to be in your own skin. Self-love. Having time for self-love and looking at yourself and being like, hey, you know what? I'm actually really proud. Look at how far I've come. Ooh, the practice of gratitude is going to be so deep for you. And to also think about the successes that you've already had. That's also the reclaiming. That's part of the reclaiming. You're going to have like a bigger, sorry, my stomach is just like grumbling right now. You're going to have a bigger like self-love connection in this next month. I think it's going to come from looking at how much you've already created in your life, how much you've already manifested, how much you've already done, and remembering those things and seeing yourself not for what you haven't completed yet, but for all that you've already done, and realizing, oh, that's already a lot. Why am I always feeling guilty about not doing enough? That's already a lot. I need to remember that. I need to feel good about it and realize I deserve to take time for me. I don't need to be a work machine. That's not what you came here to be. So yeah, that is like part of this month for you, is like filling yourself with that self-love in order to get rid of that guilt thing about not doing enough and all of that. So let's dive into our astro dice. We're gonna roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 most likely zodiac signs to be in your life through the month of September. So let's see who is really dominant for you. Taurus and Aquarius is, of course, coming through as really dominant. We also have Taurus coming through on the astro dice. So yeah, Taurus is for sure one of them. We have Pisces. Pisces again. Pisces is a dominant one for you. Gemini. So Taurus, Pisces, Gemini. And I'm also feeling some Aquarius for you since the Aquarius popped up. But those are the top 3, technically 4, most likely zodiac signs to be in your life during this next month. And now let's roll all these dice together to get any last info for you. We have Jupiter. Oh, love Jupiter. 11th house, Aquarius. So Jupiter in Aquarius in the 11th house. Lots of Aquarius energy for you in September. But Jupiter and Aquarius, this is time to really expand yourself. You're expanding your world, expanding your friendships. There's possibly even travel that's going to happen for you in September, or at least planning travel, because Jupiter in the 11th house is absolute travel. And this is usually like long distance travel. Like usually it's like another country type of travel. It's usually longer distance than just like a road trip or something most of the time. Some of you might also be making a new friend that lives more abroad and meeting. All right, I ended that off saying we're manifesting more of the life we want, but my camera is running out of battery right now and we're just on like the last little second of it. So that brings us perfectly to end off today's reading. I am sending you all so much love. It looks like there's tons of expansion for you, tons of good energy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.